Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
The kids that are playing out there tonight know this is something bigger than themselves.
Rivals coming together, paying tribute to Logan and Briggs, two young brothers killed in a house fire.
A nightmare commute home. Tonight, a bridge closure is forcing drivers to wait in bumper-to-bumper traffic for miles.
Attacked at the gas pump. A Grosse Pointe man fights back after being targeted by a carjacker.
I get knocked down. You know, he's about a 25-year-old guy, and hit my head on the back. I got back up and I went after him again.
He sure did, and we'll begin there tonight at 11. The man who found himself going toe-to-toe with a carjacker last night, that is the former president of Crime Stoppers. In fact, he started it.
Unbelievable. 80-year-old John Broad and his wife were about to fill up with gas when the attacker came from nowhere and started swinging. Jason Colthorpe spoke to them tonight and is live at that gas station in Grosse Pointe Farms. Did the attacker say anything during all of this, Jason?
He didn't say a word, Kim. John Broad told me, in fact, he didn't even have time to think when this guy came out of nowhere at the gas station behind me. All he could do was react and try and defend himself and defend his wife, who was in the passenger seat. And he said something very interesting. Over all those years with Crime Stoppers, he never once thought he'd be in that position that he'd comforted so many people through. If John Broad looks familiar to you, it's because you've seen him many times over the years as the former president of Crime Stoppers, helping people get answers about their loved ones. But last night, when he pulled into the Shell gas station in Grosse Pointe Farms, he found himself in the crime scene.
And he comes up to me and he just...
It was a would-be carjacker, and the 80-year-old was suddenly slugging it out with an attacker almost 60 years his junior.
And so I hit him back, you know, I get knocked down. You know, he's about a 25-year-old guy, and hit my head on the back. But I got back up and I went after him again, right?
Okay. And then he was down, and then he didn't get up that time. And so then meanwhile I was screaming for help because he was like lying on the pavement.
It was not a good day for this guy.
The Broads aren't too shaken up after this incident, but for John, he definitely has a new perspective after years of standing with so many families of crime victims.
I was lucky in that the person that did this didn't have a gun or a knife. I've been with people, but I'd never really understood what it was like to be a victim of a crime.
Yeah, they really have, I tell you, they really have a good attitude about the whole thing. We kind of laughed that he doesn't have to give out the phone number this time, 1-800-SPEAK-UP, because they've already caught the guy a few blocks from here when he ran off. In fact, that attacker could be arraigned as early as tomorrow. Live in Grosse Pointe Farms, Jason Colthorpe, Local 4.
We are wishing them all the best. All right, Jason. There is a huge traffic mess around Grosse Ile right now. We first told you last night the free bridge is closed for emergency repairs, leaving the private toll bridge as the only option right now for getting on or off the island.
Traffic to get on the bridge was backed up for miles. Some drivers stuck in the backup say it was going to take 2 hours to get home.
It's been going on way too long. And they haven't done anything with these bridges, and now all of a sudden, no announcement, and here we are.
It's messy. I mean, I've never seen it this bad. The bridge has been closed before, but it's never quite been this bad.
This is the worst one.
There is no timetable on when the free bridge could reopen, but residents are being told the repairs could take weeks.
It may be a fearsome rivalry on the ice, but tonight two teams came out to play for something greater than themselves. A memorial game between Grosse Pointe South and University Liggett paid tribute to two young Grosse Pointe brothers who died in a house fire last month. Mara McDonald live tonight in Grosse Pointe Woods. A lot of emotion on the ice and in the stands as parents and players remembered Logan and Briggs Connolly. Mara.
You know, Devin, Logan and Briggs' parents were at the game tonight, and I spoke to their dad off camera, and he asked me that instead of really talking about their loss and everything they've been through, if we would rather show a community that's really coming together. Take a look.
Suiting up in the locker room tonight, the boys shed their varsity school jerseys and put on something else. Liggett sporting Briggs Connolly on their backs, Grosse Pointe South with Logan's name.
A moment of silence in loving memory of Briggs and Logan Connolly.
Logan and Briggs died in a house fire on October 29th. The boys, 9 and 11, just loved to play hockey.
I think everybody in the community has felt it.
Julie's son Will played hockey with the Connolly boys.
I'd come to support Briggs and Logan because they were my friends.
The children had an easier time explaining why they wanted to be here tonight. Oh, and they loved the jerseys.
I think it's pretty awesome how they got to do that.
For the parents, I don't think we spoke with one adult who didn't have to take a deep breath and stop themselves from crying.
To see the loss of kids is just, I can't imagine anything it's just unimaginable to me as a parent to think of losing my kids.
Forget 6 degrees of separation. In this community, it's never more than 1.
These kids on both teams tonight and all the people here as a community is just a little something we can do as a sign of love and support to the Conley family.
Back here live, I know they felt it. We're live in Grosse Pointe Woods tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
What a story. Hundreds of students, meanwhile, gathered outside Dearborn High School to remember a classmate who died after receiving a heart transplant. 15-year-old Zara Al-Assadi had the transplant back in February, and after she recovered from surgery, she was even able to return to playing field hockey. But she died this week of pneumonia after getting sick again. A candlelight vigil was held at the school in her honor.
She was the most sweetest and kind-hearted person I've ever met. She was always in the best mood, great positivity, and could light up a room with just her smile.
And Zara's friends noted she wanted to become a pediatric cardiologist so that she could help others with the same condition.
2 students are dead and several others injured after a 16-year-old gunman opens fire inside a California high school. Shooting took place around 8 a.m. at Saugus High School in Santa Clarita. Police say 2 students, a 16-year-old girl and a 14-year-old boy, are dead. 3 others were wounded. The 16-year-old male shooter is in grave condition from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head.
An ethics investigation into Detroit Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib is expanding. Today, the board of the Office of Congressional Ethics released a report on Tlaib's campaign spending from last year. The ethics board found Tlaib was paid more than $17,000 from her campaign after the general election. Now, candidates are allowed to be paid by their campaign, but only for work performed through the general election. The ethics complaints against Tlaib are now going to be reviewed by the House Ethics Committee. Tlaib's office released a statement tonight saying she is cooperating with the investigation and looks forward to its resolution in her favor. We've got her entire statement at clickondetroit.com.
Detroit police searching for 2 male suspects who broke into a local business on the city's east side. Earlier this month, the 2 men broke into a poultry and fish market on Harper Avenue near Whittier. One man goes for the cash register while the other takes meat from the freezer. Anyone with information is asked to call Detroit police. Still ahead, it's a popular supplement you can buy over the counter.
Why the government is now recommending more people start taking fish oil.
Too early. Put up Christmas stuff.
When is the right time to put it?
A festive family is being told they need to take down their decorations. Who is making the demand and what the neighborhood is doing about it? Ben.
Kim, forget Bigfoot. We want to know if the 40s really exist. It's been a while since we've seen them, and we'll see when they come back. Coming up.
All right, Ben, but first, a local dog trainer offering a free class to pit bull owners.
Oh, damn it.
He is trying to change the reputation of pit bulls, and we'll take you inside the training next.
She has a passion for children and making